I just caught Lovely T's video of the TikTok streamer who, whew, that's heavy. My heart hurts. The TikTok streamer who killed somebody or unalived somebody. That I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine. And shout out to Lovely T, right? Because towards the end of the video, she was saying some real shit. And throughout the video, I was getting upset. You know I was getting upset? Because T does this genius thing where she goes to the TikTok streets and she plays videos of people's live reactions of whatever subject she's talking about. And anybody who tries to coin that whole concept, T did it first. I love her. She is a creative genius. I also think she's on the spectrum, but whatever. She goes to the streets, and every time she plays videos, it doesn't matter what subject she's talking about, the people are so what's the word? I want to say they're up on their high horse. I want you guys to understand this about me. I yell at you guys, right? Sometimes. I'm not saying that it's okay. I yelled at my kids the other day, and I had to come back to my son and say, was I too hard on you? And my son said, no. Crazy. Almost made me cry because it didn't sit well with me. What I was saying to him, I meant. And I hope he heard it. And he said, I understand. And his actions since then have changed. And it made me feel better that he said I needed to hear that. I think, and I've already made a video about this, and I played an example. When you're talking about other people's situations where they do something, because that was an accident. That was an accident. Some people are saying that was no accident. Girl, you finna go to jail. Why would you think it's okay to get on live and do? Let me explain something to y'all. I yell at y'all, but I would never shame somebody. Like I get mad at the black community, and I'm like, why are y'all doing that? You see me get upset. I will never kick somebody when they're down. I will never sit on the high horse and say, you don't see me doing it. I don't think I do that. I don't think that when I'm telling you guys what I see you guys doing, that I start telling y'all what I don't do. If I do that, correct me in the comment section. I'm giving you tough love. And I'm not saying that you're the worst person in the world for doing what you're doing. What I'm saying is that you need to stop what you're doing. But it breaks my heart when I see human beings attack other human beings for mistakes that they've made as if they are perfect. I never once said I think the black community is supposed to be perfect or that I'm perfect and y'all ain't shit. I'm simply telling you what I see, and I want you to do better. And I'm doing it so that we can prevent things happening in the future. Like this, for example, you can learn from this and start to drive properly. And Lovely T said it at the very end of her video, and I was waiting for her to say it because I'm like, T, like I understand the concept of putting people up there, and but now we're normalizing people having such harsh opinions towards others, and I keep seeing it, and I'm like, guys, this is not going to play out well. But she said on the stream, like, I have been guilty. I've never unalived anybody, but I have been guilty of reaching the fries and being distracted. You guys have. Stop being so harsh. In what world do you go live? We all have dropped our phone and reached for it. We have all tried to reach a french fry, or we eating while we driving, or we talking to they fighting and we bet they're going to stop it. We're all guilty. Listen, this is not a direction that you want to go. If we're speaking about the video, let me just go out for a second and say, this is your sign, as a man said in the video, because he was a friend of the person who was unalived. This is your sign to be a good driver. Okay? I do think that there's a difference between accountability and, there's a difference between accountability and calling for somebody's cancellation or wanting their head. Accountability is absolutely something that in the future, in this new earth that I keep telling you guys about, that we will need. If you're talking about a democracy and you're talking about a place ran by the people, yes, you want the people to have say so. We don't want you to not. We don't want people to not have say so. We want people to have say so. But we have to have empathy, and that is putting yourself in someone else's shoes. Talking to and about someone as if they are just so stupid and so I would never. Even when I came out the other day, I said, some of y'all are stupid. I'm actually just trying to jar you, like shake you and make you go, am I stupid? But I'm not, like, we're going closer and closer and closer towards just really just wanting each other's heads, and the government is seeing this. Do you understand? They put these things, they see how you guys are behaving, and they're going to, like I told you in another video, they're going to say, this is how you are. So what we can do for you is we can give you the option of burning them or, you know, shooting them. Which one do y'all want us to do? And y'all are going to be in the audience saying, burn them, kill them. You can't, like, I don't know if I'm saying this right. It scares me how you guys respond to other people's tragedy or mistakes. It scares me. Even the whole Brene and Tim situation. I'm not saying that none of these people were wrong. What I'm saying is we watch, and that's it. But one thing I know, especially in the black community, is that a lot of y'all women are sleeping with these niggas, right? This contributes to why I think a lot of women are on the spectrum, and a lot of women don't want to admit this, but a lot of women are sitting out here pretending that they're Cardi B's. Cardi B was even pretending she was a Cardi B. I don't do this, and buying offset strippers and all that. And behold, she's just a regular woman who don't want nobody else fucking on her nigga. That's literally all she is. And it backfired. You sitting there trying to be a cool girl, a cool girlfriend, and then you ended up being tortured by this nigga, trying to act like you're so different from the rest. He picked you because he wanted you to tear you down. That's what these niggas do. They pick you so that they can watch you suffer. There's so many men in this community taking advantage of women who are gullible. And if you're talking specifically about autism, that is, you know, you believe what people say. This is how a nigga can run game on you. This is why it's important to know if you are on the spectrum or not, because you just didn't know. You actually drank the Kool-Aid, and then people are gonna sit there and say she knew what she was doing. No, I didn't. Now I do, because I understand. I just drank the Kool-Aid, and that's okay if you did that. But you can't continue to do that. You have to learn from your mistakes. There's so many things that I've done wrong that people have judged me for. And maybe this is why I understand. Maybe this is why I'm able to say this to you. I can put the feelings that I had when people did it to me, when I was just like, I didn't even know what I was doing. I believe this person. Like, if you believe somebody who's telling you that you could get money, there's a whole bunch of young people coming up. That's all this world is, recycling. There's going to be young people who believe those people in their inboxes saying, if you just send money here, you can get $4,000. And when they do that, here go your big grown ass on the thing. You so stupid. You should have known that was a scam. How was they going to know it's a scam if they've never seen that before? How would they know? You have to live life to have the level of empathy that I have. And you can't just sit back and judge it. When you go through the things, you learn from it. You humble yourself. You own up to what you've done. And then you say, you know, when you see it in somebody else, you have even a higher level of empathy for them. When I speak about the black community, I'm not condemning you. I'm saying do better, because you're going to regret it. Becoming the people who oppressed you and behaving like them is not the answer. Calling for the cancellation or the death or off with their heads for someone that doesn't sit well with me for you. I don't want that for you guys. I don't want that for you. And you can keep sitting here and say, white people do this, girl, and nobody want that kumbaya shit. Y'all always pushing logic and being human away just to be petty and hateful. We need to pray for her and the family and stay out of it. Yes, we're going to have our opinions. Yes, if you want to make a think piece online, respectfully, and say, you know, this is a sad story, and we all need to learn to stay focused. And, you know, anybody who ever went live, you know, everybody, so she could do that, but I can't do my vape pen online. That's fucked. This why y'all went to Jamaica acting like that. When a hurricane we cannot normalize this behavior. We cannot. We have to take a second and think about what we're doing. To speak about a situation doesn't mean you have to be hateful and pushing for the end of somebody. You gonna get locked up, girl. You gonna get enough. This needs a moment of silence outside of holding her accountable and saying like, y'all, this is a learning moment. Like, oh my God, y'all, this is outside of that, hush your mouth. I hope nothing happens to you and then you have the entire world saying she need to go to jail. She didn't do that on purpose. She didn't do that on purpose. She did not do that on purpose. That was an accident that any one of us could have made. Grabbing food or looking off or watching a YouTube. Any one of us could have did it. Enough.